Hey everybody, so I wanted to come back this week with a makeup tutorial, just kind of in light of, Black History Month and just kind of celebrating, just Black history and our heritage and just everything like that. I thought it would be really fun just to kind of do a makeup tutorial and using some colors that are, just like in the colors of my family's country's flag. And if you've heard, like, especially the Jamaican flag, a lot of Caribbean and especially African countries kind of have that color of the ice golden green is like kind of what we would say, which is basically the red, the yellow, and the green, and maybe some hints of black. Not every Caribbean country has these colors in the flag, or not every African country, but a lot of the ones that I know of. But I wanted to kind of stick on just what was in my family's country flag. And so my family originates from Guyana, which is located in South America. It's close to Venezuela. And then also I was raised in St. Croix, the US Virgin Islands. And so it has a lot of those colors as well. And so I just wanted to kind of celebrate that with a makeup look. So if you're new to my channel, hi, I'm Chanel, and I just like doing, just sharing all the things that I love to do myself. So it's everything from lifestyle, fashion, just different hauls, different, fashion looks, home decor. I love decorating and doing DIYs for my house. And then of course I'm into skincare. I'm in my 40s, and so I've always, been into skincare, just for my mom, and just makeup looks. So it's just all the things that I love to do personally, and I love sharing those things with you. So if that's something that you're into, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and yes, please do like this. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get this started. Okay, so just to go ahead and start, I'm going to go ahead and prep my skin. I'm going to be using this. This is a really nice light serum, and so I'm just going to kind of get a little bit of that on my hands and just kind of work that in. Okay, and now I'm going to be using, this is the Rimmel, and this is their Stay Matte. I've used this before and it's really nice, and this is just their makeup primer, and I really like this because for me, I get really oily in these parts right here, especially as I'm doing my makeup before I'm done. It tends to start to just kind of get really oily and creased up right here, and then these parts, and especially on top of my eyelids as well. So I'm just going to put a little bit of this. I just put about that much, and I'm just going to kind of get that going and just kind of concentrate on those spots, and especially like around my chin. So just kind of a backstory. I don't want to make this, and sorry if I keep looking this way, it's like my mirror. I always do my makeup at my vanity, my bathroom, and so I've got this huge mirror right here, so I tend to kind of look that way, but also I want to talk to you guys. So just kind of a backstory. Yes, my family is from Guyana, and they speak English there, but it's like, just a dialect, almost like, Caribbean dialect, or, have you've heard like a Jamaican accent, Caribbean accent, things like that. So, yeah, they're from there, and then my parents immigrated to the U.S., I want to say in 78, I think, and my dad joined the military. The U.S. military, and then just kind of moved around. My older sister was born there, and then in Guyana, and then they came over, and then I was born in the U.S. And then when I was 11, we were living in the States, and then we kind of went back to living in the Virgin Islands. So my dad got an opportunity to work there, and so my mom was kind of like, yes, let's go back to what we know, the Caribbean, and so that's where we went. So just kind of starting with this I'm going to be using the colorstay Revlon, the 24-hour, and this is in the color Espresso 610, and you guys know this is like my favorite makeup brush, and so I'm going to be using this. This is like the Morphe M446. This is like my favorite makeup foundation brush, and because I don't need full coverage, I tend to just use about that much. And lately I've been using, this is the Glossier, and this is their Future Dew, and I just like how putting it a little bit and mixing it on my skin, it just kind of helps it feel hydrated so it doesn't feel too cakey, and just helps the foundation to spread really nicely. So like I said, yeah, so we kind of moved around, you know, in the States in different parts, things like that, and then went to St. Croix, and that's where I stayed until I finished high school and just kind of moved away after that. But yeah, my family is still there. So it's kind of just weird because I know a lot of people are like, you don't even have an accent or anything. And I think I got self-conscious after leaving and moving to the States. And with my dad being in the military, you know, it was always, you know, important to him, like, you know, you speak proper English, you present yourself, very professional. And so I just kind of would, you know, go back and forth with that. And then I was self-conscious that people wouldn't understand what I was saying. Or just have me like repeat myself 1,000 times, and that gets on my nerves. But I do at home with my kids, my husband, or my family, or people that are close to me and know me. I definitely will speak with my accent. So as you guys get to know me, you'll hear it come out every once in a while, or if I hear somebody speaking and I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, I know you, or whatever, and we're from the same place, I think I feel a little bit more comfortable. But I just can't help but switch back and forth between, yeah, just having that more professional voice and speaking, you know, very clearly to people versus, you know, I talk to my family and I'm like, yeah, Mom, what are you saying? You know, whatever, you know, this things like that. So yeah, that's just my thing. So that's like just how I am. So people that are close to me, of course, my kids, my husband, things like that, my family, that's how I speak with them. So yes. So now that I have my foundation kind of in, and of course you kind of want to make sure that you don't have that, you know, cut off line. So I like to kind of bring mine down and, you know, behind the ear just a little bit, just to make sure that it's like kind of all seamless. And I have dark, you know, spots, kind of like, or like a shaded area. It's almost like I have a mustache, but I don't have a mustache. But it's just like a darker shaded area, you know, just right there. So I like to kind of concentrate on that. And then the next thing that I'm going to do is my foundation. No, I already did my foundation. I'm going to be doing my concealer. So I'm going to be using 2 of them today. Okay, so for normal, normally I would be using, this is the Morphe, and this is in, I think this is C5. I don't know if you can read that. There it is. Or I hope I don't have it upside down. I'll link everything down below. But I am going to be using that just to kind of highlight underneath here. And then I'm going to be using on top, because I really want the colors to be just super bright, and since my skin is darker, I am going to be using, this is the True Match, and this is in the color W67-8, and not gonna lie, this belongs to my husband. So clearly this is not my color, but I'm glad that he had it so that I can use it on my lids so that I can really make the colors pop. So okay, so I went ahead and I just used a little beauty blender. I know that they have their exact name for that company, and it's kind of like Q-tip, where you start calling everything a Q-tip. But I'm going to be using my teardrop sponge, but the beauty blender, and just kind of, I got that all where I wanted it to be, just to kind of get that all brushed in. And now I'm going to be using the True Match, and I'm just going to be doing that on top of my eyelids, just so that I can get like a really light base for my eyeshadow. to go. So I know this is gonna look a little crazy for a little while, but trust the process. Okay, so I went ahead and I got that all blended in, and then what I'm doing right now, I am using, this is the Mercier in their setting powder. I really like to use this just kind of like underneath, you know, the eye, and just especially on the top, since I'm going to be using powder, or the eyeshadow, just to kind of make sure that it doesn't get all caked up. And then I actually went and I purchased, this is their translucent powder in the medium deep, and I really like to use this one just as an all over kind of like setting powder. So I will be using that after I get like the contouring and everything. So right now I'm just kind of using just a little bit to kind of go under and set this right here. I don't want to do like a heavy baking too much, because it kind of, you know, can dry out the other parts of my face that aren't oily. So I just want to kind of put this in, but I do remember that yes, I'm going to be using some bright colors, and I don't want it to mess up my face. So, or the rest of my face. I know most people like to kind of do their eyeshadow and everything first and then do their foundation. I don't know, but for some reason, me doing the face and then working outwards, if that makes sense, just works better for me. So, but I am going to put just a little bit here, just to kind of protect some of the brighter color from falling down, and it will help with some of the creasing and stuff. So I'm just going to add a little bit up here, so while I do my brows, I can make sure that it doesn't get oily. So to use my, or to do my brows, I am going to be using, you guys, this is like my favorite thing. This is the Wet n Wild. And it is an eyeliner pen, but I like to use this just because it has a really nice felt tip. I like to kind of use this to outline my brows, especially if I want my brows to be super dramatic and really etched, and especially because my eyebrows are just thin, and I really want to make a definition, you know, just to really define them. And so I like to kind of use this to kind of get the look that I'm looking for. Okay, so as you can see, I just like to have like that defined, you know, look to my eyebrows. And then I like this because you can just kind of go in and just kind of make, you know, the strokes as if you're just kind of filling that in with, you know, like the hair. It's like really nice. So you can just kind of get that really defined look as well. And you can kind of do that with this, or after I kind of like just put the line and everything like where I want this to go, I do like to just kind of go in and either use my LA Girl, and this is the brow pomade, and this is in the color Soft Black, or I like to go in with my, it's not here, but it is the NYX, the NYX, and it is in their eye liner pencil, and it is in the color black brown, and just kind of use that to kind of fill in as well. So either of these work, and then also you can kind of use, this is like my Glossier boy brow, and just kind of fill that in as well. So I'm going to go ahead, get my eyebrows filled in, and then I will be right back. Okay, so I went ahead, and as you can see, I did my brows, and so I just kind of, you know, after I did the outline with the pen, I went in with the brow pomade from LA Girl, and I like to use, this is like a brush that I got from Ulta, but I just like that it has, you know, like a slanted end to it, and instead of just kind of filling in, which you can do it that way, I actually like to just kind of do this, and as you can see, it just kind of fills it in, but just a little bit softer, so it's not like so harsh. And just kind of, I like to take it this way and just kind of fill it in that way. And then as I do that, got something right there. As I do that, just kind of like brush upwards, and then just to kind of finish it up, I went in with my Anastasia, and this is the brow gel in clear, and just to kind of, you know, help to fluff those out, and it just kind of gives the appearance of just really chiseled and full brows, because I have naked brows. I don't have any eyebrows. How to start, but yeah, to get back to my story. Where was I? But yeah, it's just kind of weird, because I just still feel like, till this day, you know, now in my 40s, it's like, you know, a lot of people that I'm close with, or semi-close, they're just always like, you never speak with your accent, and I'm like, because we not close. Or I just, you know, I don't know, I just don't feel like it. I don't know. But yeah, that's just our thing, but I'm very proud of just our heritage and where we're from, and I think every kid goes through that, where when your parents speak differently, they eat different foods, or they're just from a different place, all you want to do is just blend in with everybody else. You don't want to seem different, and so I definitely went through that, and now that I'm older, all I want to do is kind of just reconnect to my heritage and be different. I know it's so weird, but I absolutely love it. So that's, you know, where I get my skin tone from. It's how I cook for my family. It's how I, you know, interact with them. We always have these inside jokes, or, you know, just different things. It's just a whole different world, and I absolutely love it. So, okay. Let's go ahead and start with, I'm going to do my contour, because I haven't done the contour yet. So just to do the contour, I'm going to be using, this is from Juvia's Place in the color Congo, so it's super dark, I really like it. And then I'm going to be using, this is from e.l.f. and this is their contouring brush, and so yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get this going. So it's so interesting with just all these different makeup techniques, because before, you know, I never used to know about like contouring and just all these other things, and I mean, it's just so much fun, all the things that you can do with makeup and how you can just kind of make yourself look just so different. I think it's just, you know, almost just like playing dress up all the time. I really, really like it. And I know some people are kind of like, no, you know, why are you doing the whole contour of the nose? You should be proud of your nose. And I don't think it has anything to do with that. I think it's just, you know, when you can kind of just go in and make something look different with makeup, it just almost turns into a science experiment almost. Like, yes, it looks real crazy now. This definitely looks like a science experiment, but I just like how you can just change different things and make yourself look differently. And I think that's why I got into modeling. So I started that when I was 14, and it's so crazy now because I just did a shoot with my daughter. She's 14, and it's just like being able to do that with her was so much fun. So, but yeah, you just kind of learn so many different tips and tricks from different people, and how you can change things and make things look a certain way. And, you know, it's not so much that you don't like yourself, but you just get to play dress up. You get to have fun and see how you can create, and makeup is just an art. And with art, you want to be able to kind of play around with it and see what you can do with it, and how you can kind of mimic different things and have fun with it. So I say makeup is fun. Don't take it seriously. If you want to contour, snatch the nose, snatch the face, snatch your body, go ahead and do that. I think just, you know, have fun with it and see what you can do, and just kind of learn from other people and build skills, and I'm all about that. So so I'm just going to go ahead with this beauty blender again and just kind of really blend this in, especially on the sides of my nose. and I don't want, you know, the sides here to be too dark, you know. So I'm just gonna go back in with the makeup foundation brush and just kind of really blend that in. I know I'm starting to take away a little bit from what I put on the side or what I put underneath for my eyes. So I'm just gonna kind of go back in and just make sure I add a little bit more, because I'm gonna be starting my eyes now, and I don't want any of those like bright colors to fall and like mess up what I've done to my face. Okay, so for the eyeshadow, I am going to be using the Morphe, and I think this was their artistry palette, but yeah, this was like the rainbow line. I think this was for Pride last year or something like that. I think I can't remember what it was for somebody, but yeah, I really like it. I like the bright colors, and so I figured I'm going to be using the ice for this one, which is called Life, and then I'm going to be using the yellow, and this is called Sunlight, and then I'm going to be using this green, and this is in Nature. So I'm really happy. So yeah, this one, and this one. And then I'll probably, just for the bottom, maybe use a little bit of the black, and that is in NYC. Okay, so to start, I am going to be using, this is another brush that I got from Ulta. It was like in this whole little packet. I had another video, and I can kind of, you know, link that probably in the description, but that's when I did a video on how to save money on makeup, and I actually found like this whole silver makeup set from e.l.f. That's what this was from. This is from the e.l.f., but it was like a whole set, and they also had it in Ulta, and at the time it was still like $21, $22. It was like for Christmas. And then I went back in January and I found it in TJ Maxx. Check out TJ Maxx for the makeup, because they always have like really good deals. And I got the same exact like set for, I think I got this for like $11.99, and it was like a whole pack. It was like a pack of like, I don't know, 10 or 12 or 15 brushes. So yeah, save money, check out TJ Maxx. Marshalls. Sometimes when big companies have like too much stock, they kind of push it on them and they sell it for cheaper. Okay, so for the eyeshadow, I am going to be using the Morphe, and I think this was their artistry palette, but yeah, this was like the rainbow line. I think this was for Pride last year or something like that. I think I can't remember what it was for somebody, but yeah, I really like it. I like the bright colors, and so I figured I'm going to be using the ice for this one, which is called Life, and then I'm going to be using the yellow, and this is called Sunlight, and then I'm going to be using this green, and this is in Nature. So I'm really happy. So yeah, this one, and this one. And then I'll probably, just for the bottom, maybe use a little bit of the black, and that is in NYC. Okay, so to start, that was like in this whole little packet. I had another video, and I can kind of, you know, link that probably in the description, but that's when I did a video on how to save money on makeup, and I actually found like this whole silver makeup set from e.l.f. That's what this was from. This is from the e.l.f., but it was like a whole set, and they also had it in Ulta, and at the time it was still like $21, $22. It was like for Christmas. And then I went back in January and I found it in TJ Maxx. Check out TJ Maxx for the makeup, because they always have like really good deals. And I got the same exact like set for, I think I got this for like $11.99, and it was like a whole pack. It was like a pack of like, I don't know, 10 or 12 or 15 brushes. So yeah, save money, check out TJ Maxx, Marshalls. Sometimes when big companies have like too much stock, they kind of push it on them and they sell it for cheaper. Okay, so I am going to first start with Life, because I think this red is definitely giving me life for sure. And I'm just gonna kind of press that into the skin just so that I can make sure I get enough pigment as possible. But yeah, let me know down in the comments where you're from, or maybe even just one of your favorite like island destinations that you've visited and that you love, and just what you love about it. I love when people can kind of just take that experience and just really run with it and love it, as you know, and just all the little things that are special to us. I know we have in St. Croix, it's from Crucian bracelets and some other places, but I literally never take these off. And so this is like a traditional thing to wear like a bunch of bracelets from St. Croix or the Virgin Islands, because there's three. There's, you know, in the US Virgin Islands, it's St. Croix, St. Thomas, and St. John. And so, you know, we have like our love bracelet, and when it's facing upwards, it means your heart's taken. And when it's facing downwards, it means you're single. Or, you know, we have things like with the gold, and it's got the little like seashell, or just like different things that they like to come up with. So usually in St. Croix, women, you know, they have like, you know, a bunch of like bracelets and stuff like that, or the earrings and the chain and just everything. So I like to kind of just collect these for the kids, and I have like a bunch more that I don't even wear all the time. So yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and get that in there, and I need to use my separate mirror just so I can see what I'm doing. So this always kind of reminds me of like a butterfly effect, almost like a wing, or just like the way that I put it. I can't just do like one eye and then be like, I'll be right back, and then start the other one, because I just feel like it won't match. I don't know. Okay, so sorry about that. I started doing the yellow, so as you can see, and then for some reason my phone just kind of, the footage just kind of disappeared. Back in with the starlight and just kind of touch up a little bit, because I do want the yellow to really stand out, so that I can add like another layer to this and just kind of go on top. And so yeah, just kind of going on here. And then what I'm going to do is just kind of take the same brush, and I am going to go in and just kind of start blending these two colors together. You can kind of see that. And then I'll do the other side as well. And then as I keep going, I'm going to do just slightly the edge as well of the yellow, because then I'm going to be going in with the green next. So there's that. And with nature, and I'm just going to use, you know, those colors together and really get those in there, and then blending at the top as well. Aren't as pigmented as I wish they were, so I think it's definitely really important, especially for my darker skin, to kind of just press the color into the skin as possible, and then kind of blend out. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of check with the bigger mirror and just kind of make sure that I've got the colors exactly where I want them. And then kind of blend outwards a little bit. Now, kind of go in, and this is with my other Morphe. This is the 35M. And I'm going to just be using more of a kind of like a copper color, and I'm just going to kind of highlight just right underneath the brow bone with that as well. Use that just to kind of blend in the corners and kind of bring that out towards the top and the end. a girlfriend told me about this, and it's the L'Oreal Carbon Black Telescopic mascara, and I wanted to kind of try that Thrive mascara, the one that you see everywhere all over Instagram, and she was like, no, this one is just as good. It makes your lashes look so long and really nice, and as you can see, it just, yeah, it really makes a big difference. It just really grabs all the little hairs, and I think it's because, I don't know if that's gonna focus, hold on. It's because like the little hair, the little wand is super small, and so it just really kind of grabs all of those little hairs and really just puts a lot of product on the eyelashes, but at the same time really coats them evenly and combs them out so you don't get, so it doesn't like become like super clumpy. So that's like really nice too. So because I am not an eyelash wearer every day, and so this kind of really gives me dramatic lashes. And if I want them to be super full, I found that if I kind of put this on the base of my eyelashes and then kind of use this one and kind of, you know, just comb them out and fill out the ends, it really does make them look super long. So sometimes you just have to use 2 mascaras, and so yeah. So I'm gonna kind of go in and use, this was in my Allure Beauty box. This is the By Me, and also with the Beauty brand. And so this, I really like it because again, I just love things that have that super felt, you know, pen look. So it's like super precise. And I'm just gonna go ahead and put a little bit of eyeliner in and then put on my lashes, and then we'll kind of finish up the rest of this look. Just did like a smaller line, nothing too dramatic. It's just more to kind of hide and fill in when I put on my lashes. So now I just went ahead and I made sure just to take the eyeliner pen, or you know, just the pen, and just kind of go in to the corners right here, just to kind of blend in where, you know, the eyelash ends in the corners. And then I'm going to be going back in with this palette, and I'm going to be using the NYC, which is the black, and that's kind of perfect because since I had a little bit of that mistake from the mascara at the bottom there, that's just going to totally blend that in anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in there. Different brush. I like this one because it's just really small. It's just got a lot more control, and just to kind of really blend this out, and then also bring some of the red that I had here in the corners and kind of just bring that out as well, and just kind of blend that all in. Okay, and just to kind of add a little bit of sparkle to the lower tear duct down here, I'm going to be going back in with the Morphe 35M, and I'm going to use this color right here. It's like this really pretty green, if you could see that, but it's like a little bit more metallic-y. And then I have this tiny little brush. So I'm just going to be putting a little bit at the end there so I have a little bit more control, and I'm going to put that into the inner corners just to kind of add that little pop right there. So you can see that. Okay, and that concludes the eye look. So I'm just going to kind of go back in and kind of brush off the excess of the powder and everything else that I had before. So I'm just going to use this, the foundation brush, and just kind of clean that all up. Okay, so just kind of going back in, I'm just going to kind of go in and just like some places. This is the Mercier in the deep medium, and I'm just going to kind of use that to just kind of touch up some areas here just to make sure I didn't take off too much of the concealer or the foundation that I had down there before. So I'm just going to kind of take that, and I'm using this brush. This is the Morphe M536, but I just love that it's just more rounded and I can really kind of get into these places and just kind of pat that in. And this is nice just to kind of, for me to go back in and kind of set the rest of my face as well, just in case it started to get, you know, too oily again. Okay, and just to kind of go in, this is the Il Maquillage highlighter, and this is in the color Chandelier, so it's just so pretty. I really like just all of the different colors that they have. And then this is MAC, and this is in Fever. I know I've used this so much, it's like the back is starting to go away, but it's really, really nice. And so I am going to, because I don't want it to have like that stark line, so I'm actually going to use a bigger brush for my blush application and just kind of, I like to kind of do like that. I don't know, it's like to like really enhance where the apple of the cheeks are, just so that I know where I'm starting, so it's not too far back, but just really centered as to where I want it to be. And then with the same brush, I'm going to go in with the highlighter and just kind of go right on the top here, and then just a little bit around my nose and a little bit on my forehead as well. I'm going to be using this just to kind of set my face, and then I'm going to be doing my lips, and that will finish up this look. Okay, and for my lips, I am such a gloss girl. I do have lipsticks, but I just feel like a lot of times they dry my lips out so much, and I've always been a lip gloss like junkie. That's like my thing. So for this one, I'm going to be using, this is the NYX, and my favorite lip glosses are their butter glosses, and this is in the color Devil's Food Cake. And again, I will leave everything down below, but it's just such a pretty red color. I really like that. But even though they're dark, they still, because they're gloss, they're not too much. And so I'm just gonna kind of get that in and get that going. So I've got my lips done, and yes, I just love how it gives that color, but it still gives that really nice shine and just moisturized look. And even though it's a darker color, it still has a little bit of sheerness to it, and so it doesn't feel caked on in any way. And it's easy to retouch. So if you're gonna go out or go to eat or anything else like that, I just feel like the whole process of lipsticks, it's like you have your lip liner and everything else, and so it's harder to kind of get back to the original look you were going for. Where this, it's like, it wipes away, you can just kind of reapply it really quick. And so I'm just a huge fan of lip glosses. But I thank you so much for joining me in this tutorial, If you have any questions, please go ahead and leave those down below. And I'm glad that I was able to kind of share all of this with you guys, and you guys kind of just learn a little bit more about me. And you know, I want to speak more Crucian to you guys. I hope that you guys can, I know you guys can understand, but if you have any questions, you want to know anything else about me, go ahead and ask them. I'm pretty wide open. I just like sharing my life with you guys and just all this different stuff that I have. And I know it's just always like so crazy switching between Crucian, is what you call it, and just speaking, you know, regular. But yeah, that's just me. I kind of just flip back and forth, and depending on who I'm talking to. But I'm glad you guys were able to join me in this video, and I will see you in my next one.